This O Steve comes to us from Derek Thomas. It's an O Steve poem. Hey, A&A, here's another O Steve. In the heart of a bustling town where melodies dance and dreams abound. You know, as a matter of fact, let me start over. Steve, give me some nice, easy, soft, feng shui. I'm sitting in a Portland Park, Indian style with no shoes and socks on, playing a ukulele. Give me some nice, easy music in the background. In 3, 2, 1. In the heart of a bustling town where melodies dance and dreams abound, there lived a soul with a golden hand, a craftsman of sound, both gentle and grand. The rhythm you played made our spirits take flight, as if we were dancing on clouds of delight. With fingers that glided like whispers on air, he summoned the notes from the depths of despair. Beneath the soft glow of an evening sky, crowds would gather as the stars drifted by. In the silence of twilight, where echoes still cleave, we forever carry out your spirit in the name of O Steve.
Spears and Steinberg. You know what the it is? Aries and Andy, Jew and the jerk. You know it's time to get this work. The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections. Always sleep. Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes. Scribe, we lit. There's levels to this shit. Before you was on your mama. Aries Spears don't give a fuck. We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders, rollers, loaders. We got them in the folders. The whole world on our shoulders. Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you, Derek.
Nice. Gotta read poetry now.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Kyle Singer, Sr. Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. That's. Oh, Jesus. Todd Mitchell. What's up, bro? First, I have to give you your flowers. If nobody ever told you, I'm going to say it. You're the GOAT. I'm a huge fan, and my lady and I came to your show last year in Albany. It would be a dream come true again if you could provide us with a pair of tickets, and I want to sit front row. Oh, I read this. And I said, take your best shot. And I said, we could do that at your house. Beth Spies. Tour question. Hey, A&A, just curious about something. On one of your tour dates, it says Aries Spears and guests for your Ottawa show on May 28th. Can you give any information on who the guests are? Why are you laughing?
I'm the guest.
Yeah, so why would it say guests?
I don't know. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe someone else will be out there. We can get them.
Not in Ottawa. Depending on who the guests are, I'm thinking of skipping the Montreal show and going to the Ottawa show. I get it if you can't say. Might be Mark. But do you think one show will be better than the other? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I know both shows will be great. Question for you both. You can only choose one and it lasts for 6 months. Would you rather be able to taste your food but can't feel sex, or feel sex but can't taste your food? Ooh. Want to play a game? Oh my God. Let me see that again. Able to taste your food but can't feel sex.
This is an easy one.
Or that ain't as easy as you say.
It's easy to me.
Or feel sex but can't taste your food. So then what is it then for you?
Feel sex, not taste your food. I need to lose weight anyway.
Boom!
And when I had COVID, I lost some. I lost that taste. It makes everything boring. But
what if you could have oral sex but can't taste it?
Fine.
Oh man, dude, I'm telling you. For me, I gotta feel sex, man. I'm telling you, man, I love it. I love sex, dude. I love it. I'm telling you, man. That shit is amazing.
Dude, you know what? As much as you say you love it, as much as you talk about it, I'm surprised you don't have like a whole crew of kids.
I might. What you don't know, you don't know. Might be a whole lot of running around out there. Yeah, no, I know how to. I'd rather not, but I know how to. I remember when Patrice was on Opie and Anthony. He was like, "Man, coming in a woman just feels so amazing." You know what I mean? Like, it's cool too, but when you while in warm wetness versus it feels so good to, but then when you, yeah, it feels good out your dick, but now your dick is airborne. I'm saying, so it's not the heat going, like, shut the door, you letting the heat out.
Yeah, it has that cold feeling of
Yeah.
harsh, the harsh environment on top of it. It was in a warm,
safe place.
Yeah, it was like when Yoda and Luke Skywalker are learning how to, it's warm, it's safe, and then he has to leave to go try to fight Darth Vader. You don't want to leave. You want to stay in the warmth. You want to stay in the sanctity.
Master Yoda, I won't be upset that I pulled my dick out of the pussy. You will be. You will be. Oh yeah, let me go to that now.
I like the Papa Puck because it almost sounded like Star Wars and everything.
Bum, bum, ba, ba. Whenever I try to do Star Wars, I'll get it mixed up with Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park.
Well, it's all at the same time.
A little, but somewhat.
Well, Jurassic Park was later.
If you change a part or two,
yeah.
Bum 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 ba 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 ba. Bum ba bum ba bum ba ba. And Jurassic Park, I'm forgetting. I love Jurassic. Bum 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 ba 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 bum bum ba da 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 da. So 87-Corey. Need some advice. What's up, A&A? First, I want to say I hope you and your family is okay after this LA fire. So to get straight into it, I need a little advice from the both of you. I'm 23 years old, and I've been with my girlfriend since our junior year of high school. She was 15, and I was 16 when we got together. I don't feel the same with our relationship like I did years ago. She even caught messages of me texting another woman. I'm not sure what it is, but years of me staying loyal and staying down is coming to an end, at least for now, LOL. When I go to the store and see a bad, it takes a lot out of me to stay loyal. It's hard because I don't want the relationship go, brother. $10, a lot of money. We have so much chemistry, etc. I know for a fact if I was to end the relationship, she wouldn't take it well at all. Her family treats me well too. So to see that go down the drain would be a lot for me. I still love her to death, but I still want to smash some bad women. I know you guys might flame me, but I'm fine with it because I f with y'all, LOL. One last thing. I do agree with you, Aries, when you said we should at least have one side, LOL. Peace, y'all. You want to go first? Give him some advice?
No, I guess.
I mean,
Well, I'm not going to give you advice. I'll say this, though. When you're looking at your girl and you're looking at these bad, is that what he said, bad bitches? At the grocery store? Or you went shopping for bad, you know what you have in your girl. And that's that's become very average to you because you've had it. The chick that you see that's hot, you don't know what that is. So you have an idea that it's going to be great, but it might not be great. That being said, you have to go, at this point, if that's where you are in life, the idea that you're not going to feel this way in a few years is going to make it even worse if you have to break up with your girl and the family. What I think my suggestion would be, and this sounds really, but decide thing. Go test out some water. Don't say anything. Go test it and see if it means something to you. If your girl's if you rather be with your girl than something else. And
dude, you know in your heart whether or not you really want to be there or not. And if you don't, then you just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, but he's been with her since 16, so he doesn't really know if that's the one because he's never really put it out there like that.
And how did he say how old he was? I already deleted it.
I think he was 16. He said he was a junior. So what are you, 16 or 17?
Yeah, man. Take a break, nigga.
But you don't have to crush her spirit. I mean, seriously, I know this sounds
This is
fucked
why
up.
lying is valuable. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes everybody ain't got to know everything.
Dude, this is R&D. It's research and development.
You know
It's
what I'm
not
saying?
lying. I think though.
I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You might have to just go out there and just see, but you don't have to ruin everything. You don't have to crush her. You don't have to do that. Man, go pay for one if that would make you feel.
Again, the brilliance of Patrice from Elephant in the Room. Ladies, think about what cheating is. Cheating is a man that leaves his house quietly to go find happiness behind your back. Cheating ain't for us. Cheating is for you.
But because if you don't find out, you're gonna f this up later. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Do you agree with that? What I said?
Yeah, absolutely. And plus the fact that, again, that's why I like the research and what did you say?
R&D, research and development.
Yeah, dude, you're young, man. These ain't supposed to be the years you're supposed to be locked down anyway. Like maybe it's just something I don't get because you just have to be in that lane. High school sweethearts, college sweethearts. We've been together since then and together 40 years. Damn, so that's the only pussy you've known? That's the only dick you've known? Now, God bless to the people who do that. That's a mutant gene. You an X-Men. But to live your life and you ain't never, you know what I'm saying?
But it's not just okay. This is where Aries is going to differ from me though on this one. It's not just about the sex. Sex is important in a relationship, but the person you come home to that is going to be there for you as a person.
Yes, absolutely.
And
yes,
treat you.
yes.
You have that. So that's why I'm saying you got to be very careful because if you have that, if she is there for you, she is that. Your thing that you're missing is what it's like to be with someone else, and but it's always going to be in the back of your head. So I say I know it sounds, but figure that out. Figure that out any way you can. Mark, you got something over here?
I was gonna say, is threesome on the table? Start with that.
Atta boy.
I like it. But you got to figure that out because if you prolong this and it's you think that there's something out there better, you're gonna f it up later.
Angel Atharo, the audacity of Joe Rogan. What's up? What up, Aries and Andy? I was listening to Vlad TV and I heard a clip of Joe Rogan saying Aries Spears is a joke thief. The audacity. He's not even remotely funny. I know it's subjective, but to me, he's not funny. This email, if this email is long, LOL, Joe Rogan canceled Mencia, said nothing about Schumer, and it seems like Aries was the next victim. Who the made Joe Rogan the comedy gatekeeper? With that being, you and Andy are levels above Joe Rogan. Him. You meant to say said. The audacity of you, Angel. $10 a lot of money. Hey, brother, I take it.
I didn't see. Did you? Can you look it up? Is there a way to look up and see if what Rogan said about Aries?
Oh no, you don't have to look it up. He said it. Vlad played the clip.
He played a clip
He
for you?
played the actual clip.
And what did he say?
Jamie Masada was on Opie and Anthony, and they were talking about comedians, and Jamie mentioned me, somebody that he liked, and Joe was like, that dude's a hack. He's a hack. He's a joke thief.
Was that like years ago?
Oh, a gazillion years ago.
Yeah.
Like almost 20 years ago.
Okay, so people were talking shit about you at that time.
Oh, from the womb. When the doctor pulled me out my mama's pussy, he was talking shit.
So it's nothing that he said recently, though.
No.
And you've talked to him since then. But you don't feel like
the only time I talked to him was that one time at the Comedy Store when I was trying to make amends.
And you don't feel like it's quashed anything.
I feel like he's so in a bigger, more place. He ain't thinking about me.
So
Joe ain't thinking about me, man.
you know, I'm just going to say that in this little business of comedy, when you're talking about a lot of narcissistic people and a lot of insecure people, things get said and then they get repeated and then other people repeat them. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's right because Joe has such a big platform. Things that he said in the past now feel bigger. Because when he in the past, that was 20-something years ago, before even the Mancia thing. I don't. And the Mancia thing only blew up because it hit the internet. It wasn't ever. It was the way it was done originally. It should have been to those people in the room, and that would have been it.
And to be honest with you, at that particular moment with Mencia, Joe wasn't the Joe he became.
Came later.
Mr. $100 million Spotify man. I think if Joe was that guy, Spotify man, he doesn't even address Carlos like that. Not the way he did to run up on stage and have a one-on-one with him.
Well, the only reason I think that he did it too, is from what I understand, is because it had to do with Ari.
Yeah.
And he was protecting Ari. So,
but again, when you're young, you're full of vigor, anger. You do young people.
And you got two alphas that are going at each other.
Right,
so
right.
I don't put it on Rogan that I don't think I'm not mad at Rogan today. Like if he was, but I would like to be. If I had the opportunity, I would say what I needed to say to Rogan. Like if Rogan said, "Well, you've been with Aries," and I would say no. And that's but I don't think that when you pull up a clip from 20 years ago, that's ever taken into consideration. Maybe other people said things at the time, but other people had talked about Aries back when he was young, because what Aries will admit, and he said too, Aries was very confrontational. Would you say when you were cocky? When you're young. So, and when you're cocky and in this business, people talk about you. And
when you're cocky and you're good, this is cocky that ain't talent-wise, but it's like the nerve of you. But when you actually bring the thunder and you cocky
and you're young
that's three reasons to not like you.
And so people did talk about Aries at the Comedy Store, and Aries did some shit at the Comedy Store.
Oh yeah,
that didn't help it. So like to put it all on Joe and to say, that there's no reason from that clip but this is the thing. No one at that time, before social media, thought a clip was going to live for 25 years in the ethos like it is now. So now we're more responsible about how we say things.
And you got to remember, when that happened, that hurt Joe. His agent dropped him.
Yeah.
Because Carlos was beloved at the Comedy Store. Mitzi loved Carlos. And, Carlos was more of a name, more fire.
He was on TV. He was on TV.
Yeah, so, that hurt Joe in the beginning. Not that Joe gave a shit, but yeah.
So all I'm saying is to say that you're putting a lot on something that happened years ago. I think people have grown and matured since then. So you're putting a lot on it. But I respect your love for Aries, that you would go out on a limb like that, though. I'm just saying you don't have to. Don't. Aries, big boy. He can take care of himself.
Was he complaining about like just general themes, or was it like a specific like joke?
I don't know.
No, you know what? People, I remember. Okay, we've talked about this before. Eleanor Kerrigan. She, when I started working with you, she told me, "Oh man, I got so many good stories about Aries, because when Aries was young, Aries isn't, not that Aries isn't cocky now, but Aries was young, brash, cocky, funny, destroying, and so people talk." And then that gets back to some of the regulars and the older, more stable people there. And even if you don't have anything to do with those people, which Rogan was still one of those established people at the time, wasn't he?
Back then?
At the store?
He was established. Yeah.
He wasn't a big deal, but he was established. But he was on news radio at that time. So he had like a TV, he had the big TV credit. Yeah. So, people talk to him and they go to him. You know what? I've been in these rooms. You know what so-and-so did? You know what they're doing? Right. So, and if you already are known as cocky and young and that guy, but I think people are different now. I think people know better than to listen to people. But the store had this really weird energy back in those days, though, too.
Yeah.
That's why you really weren't a store guy.
Again, a lot of reasons. But yeah. Gary Jordan. These Happy New Year, Jerk and Uncle Andy had to finally send an email starting off the new year and make a comeback. Insert LL Cool J, Mama Knock You Out. In reference to episode 636 about most in their 20s using TikTok, musically or whatever the hell it's called, let me provide some clarification. With the rising of social media, especially after COVID, This is the quickest way for people to become famous, even though most of these dancers are up the original songs. I'm closer now to 30 than I am 20, and I stay off that nonsense as I live in a time capsule of anything 2000s and older, and don't follow the hype train, even though other countries use it for education purposes, last I heard. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to Helium in December as I was broke and couldn't grab tickets, but I'm still here listening and will try to write in more this year if others like Kolsch don't drown me in the bathtub or I go missing like Farrah. Keep your pen pan strong and the whole train long. GJ from New Jersey. P.S. Guessing Brandon. I'm not even gonna. You know what? This is how much I've grown. When I even see Brad, I don't even know. No airplay. I'm done. This motherfucker's still talking shit on YouTube. I'm done. Appreciate it, Gary Jordan.
You know, I like his point though. What he's talking about, like TikTok, and in other in countries that they want to do good things to, they do use it for not just dances, but educational purposes, and to make their country and their countrymen and women smarter.
Yeah.
But here, it's just a show.
There was this black chick who I saw on TikTok. And long story short, she was talking about how everybody, and by everybody, other countries, everybody want to be us, everybody take from us. America, we're the shit. Y'all steal, y'all did the bop, 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 bop. And so this Australian woman comes on and just basically is like, the arrogance of America. And then went on to say, you guys are not the shit you think you are. You're healthcare, you're this, you're that. And it just made me go, again, that famous clip, whatever that movie is with Jeff Daniels.
Oh yeah.
When the girl, when somebody asked,
Why is America the greatest country?
Why is America the greatest? Can you pull that clip up? You know the name of that movie? Yeah, and he gangster smacks this scene, how he breaks down why, yo, we are not the shit. And as an American, it's blasphemous of you. How dare you say that about your own country? And Bill Maher alludes to it a lot himself, where he goes, yes, I love America. We are America. But get off our high horse. We're not that cool.
Are you going to send Anthony the clip of this?
Huh?
You're going to send Anthony the clip of this?
Yeah, he can.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what...
No, turn it back up.
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis? Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way. Well, the New York Jets. No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
Damn, I thought this was the clip where they go straight to it.
It's coming, though. It's right here. It's right here right now.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
I love that setup, though.
What?
It's not the greatest country, but it can be, is what he read.
Have you seen this movie?
Yeah.
Well, our
watch
Constitution
this
is
all
a
the time.
masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you.
I gotta see this.
What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
Turn it up a little bit more, Mark.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey. And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom. All right. And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the you're talking about. Yosemite?
You got it there. That being said, you ready to move?
Ready to move what?
To another country?
No. No, you know why? Because at the beginning of this is the most amazing part, and this is what's so key to the scene. He's going through this conflict in his head when you watch this, but the sign that he's reading is from someone that he knows, and it says it's not. It says, when he says, "Why is America the greatest country?" It says it's not. The second sign she sets up, but it could be, but it can be. And we have the blueprint. I mean, our Constitution is probably the best. No, not probably. It is the best Constitution ever written. It's the best Constitution ever written because despite what was going on in America at the time that it was written, it is written in a way that is all-inclusive. It doesn't exclude anyone. It's amazing if you really go and you break it down. Was it written for everyone? No. But does it include everyone? Yes. So this blueprint that we have, that if we actually were to follow the laws, if we were actually able to execute what it says, if we were actually able to communicate and try to find a better way to do things without constantly fighting and bickering, not trying to move forward too fast and not trying to pull people back too slow, if we were able to actually look at each other, communicate, and come up with better solutions to our problems, and not try to fight the whole world at the same time, we would have the best country in the world. So I still believe that this country has the opportunity to be that. And we are the biggest, this country has, it's the biggest social experiment ever. Every country that doesn't have some of the problems that we don't have, that we complain about, that we say don't have it here, they're countries that are indigenous populations to their area. So when it's all Chinese being Chinese, it's easier to be Chinese. But when you have Chinese here, we have black here, we have, and when you say black, I want to make sure I'm talking about black Americans that we have here. But now we also have Africans. Now we also have everyone that comes from all the European countries. Everybody with their own culture trying to put it into this mix. It's an amazing task that we are undertaking. And the fact that we even come this far and have lasted this long, and our blueprint still holds up better than anyone else's, sign me up. I'm staying right here.
We have to send that clip to Anthony, but have him cut it down to where it goes from the girl going what she said and then Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, because
to her.
Well, we'll also not be, they'll demonetize us for this too.
Christopher Parker, you forgot. Samuel L. Jackson's greatest movie to me is Unthinkable. He is a guy who tortured a terrorist. Got me sounding like gorilla.
Who did he say? What did we say? Oh, Samuel L. Jackson. Okay.
Who tortured a terrorist to find 4 bomb locations in a city. Damn, that sounds good. Very good. Also, I love the show Perfect Strangers. When I was growing up, well, I just want to stop by and say thanks for everything you do. That's the show with Balky, right?
Yeah.
Bronson Pinchot.
Right.
Yeah.
The one who was in Beverly Hills Cop.
No, I'm serious. Get the f out of here. All right. I'm a truck driver, and your podcast is the one I can't wait to drop and listen to while I'm on the road. Deuce. Appreciate it, Christopher Parker. Keep listening, baby. We appreciate you, boy. We going, Mark?
Can you flip that thing back the other way so that I remember to look at it? Thanks.
Raymond Martinez on call. Hey, what's up to the both of yous? Just wanted to let you guys know about a new shows that pretty good on Prime called On Call. It's like the movie End of Watch, but a series. It's good. There are also 2 characters in that show that we haven't seen in a while. I want to see if you guys can catch who they are. Stay safe and peace. You ever heard of it?
No, but he's pulled it up right there. Kind of like him being here.
That's the show right there?
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
He said so. It's called On Call.
Yeah, but I don't know what.
I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it's filmed nice.
Yeah. All right, might have to check that out.
Yep.
Raymond Martinez. Stay safe. Don't get deported.
From Wolf Entertainment. So that's is that Dick Wolf?
It might be.
Yeah.
You ever think Dick Wolf put his dick in a wolf?
I think he's Wolf Dick.
Okay.
I always say that after every show. I don't know why. I just go Wolf Dick, and, and Tara laughs. That's what you. To the other dude who asked that question about your girl, I say something stupid like that, and my girl laughs at me every time, hugs me, gives me a kiss, just for saying something stupid that makes her laugh. That's when.
Listen, if you can do a Dutch oven with your girl, and she sticks it out with you, she's the one. And if you could do a Dutch oven and get a little liquid on her, she's definitely a wife.
I want my girl to leave me if I shit on her. If I shit on her, she just needs to go. She just needs to be like, you know what? We're never going to be able to look at each other the same. So I'm out.
Dwayne Swaggerty. Alto Nights. What's up, Spears and Steinberg? Happy 2025. This is Swag the Mailman. Black/male, by the way. From Detroit. Oh, Detroit. So whenever you open your mail, do you use your long fingernail like a envelope? Oh, you know what I mean? Long time listener, first time emailer. Oh, Steve, do it. So Aries, I know how much you like mob/gangster movies, and I just saw the trailer for, I meant to ask you about this, for a movie starring Robert De Niro called Alto Nights. It's about gangster Vito Genovese going to war with crime boss Frank Costello in the 1950s, releasing on March 21st, 2025. Just thought I'd give you a heads up. You saw this?
I saw the previews for it.
Yeah, what you think?
Listen, I have to see the movie, but it looks like every other movie.
But when you go Man Food,
Yes.
Gangster,
Yes.
De Niro.
But I need to see the movie because as of right now, it looks
good.
It looks good, but it looks like it could be one of the other 10 movies. I need to see it.
Well, no, this one takes place in 1950s.
Okay. But
and you know what, Mr. De Niro?
There it is up there right there.
You owe us because of the Irishman.
Dude, there's people that love the Irishman.
Boo.
Love it.
Boo.
I wonder if it would have been better if we saw it on the big screen. A big screen.
You know, now that you say this, let me go back to what you just said. Here's what does worry me. Old. I don't know if I want my gangsters old. I need vibrant, fresh skin killers.
It's hard to hit someone with a baseball bat in the back of the head and kill him if you're when you're older.
Oh, your arm gets stuck in mid-swing.
My rotator cuff.
My rotator cuff.
Here.
My rotator
Lenny,
cuff.
hit him with the bat.
Right, yeah. Give me my gangsters young.
I just want to see it because
you're a man. You have to see it.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't want to say it's not in De Niro. It's just I lost some trust in the gangster movies. But you know what? Because of first of all, The Godfather is my favorite. You know that, but
of course.
But then we have what's Pesci and what's
Goodfellas.
How do you top those? You know what I mean? Everything is a little less than that.
They're young.
They're young, but everything's a little less than that. I haven't.
Well, okay, so when you say Godfather's your favorite, and you specifically mean 2, right?
No, I mean I like Godfather 1 and 2.
All right, so Godfather, Goodfellas, which do you like better?
Listen, if I have time to enjoy the story, the cinematography, if I have a nice television, if I can put the sound
Godfather.
on, Godfather. But if it's TNT and I'm sitting at the hotel room.
And you got your Jimmy, your what you like?
Jimmy John's?
You got your Jimmy John's, your chips.
A Coke, give me Godfather. Give me
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas right there because it's gonna give me. You know what though came on the other day though too is
Godfather is like you being by your classy wife. Goodfellas is a stank whore in a $2 motel room.
Godfather's. I made reservations.
Yeah.
Goodfellas. Just let's get this Del Taco and get the out of here.
Yeah. Which is just as satisfying.
It is.
As the
It's
reservation.
delicious. I actually want Del Taco more. I want to go. I do that more. But it's you want. But But those two, I could live off those two.
Right. Is Casino anywhere in that neighborhood?
It's not. It's not at the. The Sharon Stone character in there. It kills me. It makes everybody weak. It makes them all weak to me.
Right.
Because it shows the weakness of men. And it just makes
pussy has always been the weakness of men.
That's kryptonite. They shouldn't call it pussy. It should be called kryptonite.
Kryptonite, right. Yeah. And I know some black people, hardcore black folks, will get mad at me for saying this. But and believe me when I say this, it bothers me. I wish there was a black crime boss. I can't use the word mafia, but within that same vein, kind of, I wish we had something that we could go, yo, it's in the same neighborhood. I don't think we do.
Movie-wise or real life?
Movie. I don't think we do. I know some people might say New Jack City.
What about American Gangster? He has it up there right now.
Up there with Godfather, Goodfellas, and Casino? Nah. It's down the street a couple of blocks.
Who directed American Gangster?
I want to say I was going to say F. Gary Gray, but no, I don't think so. Oh, no. What's my man's name? Was it the same dude that directed Equalizer, Antoine Fuqua?
Ridley Scott.
Oh, Ridley Scott. I'm way off. It was a white guy.
Dude, here's my question, though. And this is a real question, and I mean this legitimately, because the genre that we understand is by very few directors. Coppola and who directed who directed the?
I'll get it. Just give me a movie.
The other one we talked about, not
Brian De Palma.
No, that's who directed Goodfellas.
Oh, Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese, I think is the that's like the standard, don't you think, in gangster movies?
Yeah, but he's also Italian.
Okay, but what if he directed a gangster movie, but it was a black?
You don't think he would?
No, but what if it had his style, his flair for that movie? Do you think it would change the way that you felt about like a black gangster
Here's why
movie?
I don't know that he. I shouldn't say that because if he's a great artiste, you should be able to touch anything. But then you make the argument Steven Spielberg didn't do for Color Purple what a black director would have done, a la Spike Lee's quote. That should have been a black man to touch that. So to answer your question, there's a part of me that believes Scorsese could make it hot. But he's Italian, and like Denzel said, certain things are cultural.
Yeah.
Could he do a better job than a black director? This is why I'm going. What movie that's a gangster film with blacks holds up to those movies?
Because what I'm saying is, though, the standard bearer of that direction to capture the gangster lifestyle. Now, is it a different lifestyle? Of course. But does he capture it, the cinematography of it, does it capture it differently? Now, I get it because Denzel's quote where he said, like, a hot comb.
Like instead, we know what that hot comb sound is on a Sunday morning.
That's what would be missing. But when you talk about Spielberg, did you think Spielberg's Color Purple was worse than it was that much worse than the other Color Purple that just came out?
I didn't see the remake.
Okay, I don't think that it was. But did it have the texture? There's some texture missing.
Right.
But do you give up the texture for the overall piece?
Right.
I'm asking, and then here's my other question. Do you lend yourself maybe as an assistant director, and then you have someone who's getting in all that texture in that would understand
you put your ego aside.
That's what I'm saying.
And listen, I've said this a million times. One of the most underrated gangster movies to me of all time, Hoodlum.
Hoodlum's a
with
great
Lawrence Fishburne. And but I'm still going, is it up there with Casino, Goodfellas, and Godfather?
But I have a different take. I know I said this thing about Scorsese, but my different take is, I think the gangster movie that we're going to get is a gangster movie that's going to come out about the 90s. because then you're going to capture the music.
A black one?
Yep. You're going to capture the music, the lifestyle, and what was going on in the 90s New York.
Again, that felt like that was New Jack City.
Nah,
we
because
did that already.
because it happened too close. You need that distance so that you can make it nostalgic and you can really bring it up and capture it in a different kind of way.
And see, this is why, where I go, it disappoints me with black folks sometimes creatively. Because I go, nigga, like The Irishman. Was that Scorsese? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Scorsese goes, give me Pacino, give me De Niro, give me Pesci. No black director, be it F. Gary Gray, Spike Lee, Antoine Fuqua, no one went, give me Sam Jackson, give me Wesley Snipes, and give me Denzel Washington. What? The trifecta of hardcore black talent in a gangster flick? Now, we know Sam Jackson says in every film he does, that's tailor-made.
You know,
First time he about to blow a brain matter on a wall.
I say if the money was there, if you gave Spike Lee the actors and the opportunity. No, I'm serious. I'm going to say this because I like his style, the way that he films.
Spike makes me nervous.
Just let me finish this, though. And you let him get the nostalgia. See, this is the problem when you don't get the nostalgia of a gangster. New Jack City was too close to it. So it was a drama. It wasn't, the thing that makes The Godfather great, it's romanticizing this horrible. It's a horrible thing. The Goodfellas, they're horrible people. You're romanticizing these horrible, horrible people. It was too close to romanticizing them. But now, if you have that music in the background, you got Biggie in the background, you got music that you really have the connection to in a different kind of way, but that's what's setting up the scenes, and you have Spike Lee's style with the black and white and the slow moving that he does.
You lost me right there with that.
I think you can get it.
You know what? Give me Antoine Fuqua. Give me F. Gary Gray. Spike Lee, to me, has become too something. I don't know what it is, but Spike makes me nervous. Spike had his time. Guys like Fuqua and F. Gary Gray, hungry. Well, F. Gary Gray ain't that young, but just dudes who still, for me, got that hunger.
I see that Spike style working for a nostalgic piece. I think bringing in romanticizing a horrible time period and making, because that's really what Snowfall was. It was horrible, but it romanticized. There was a little bit about it because you wanted the dude to win. You got to want the guys to win, and that's what I see. That's what I see, that there's a possibility. And the way his style is, it may be an old style, but I think it brings back to that '90s style, and I think that's what can make that happen.
Listen, and I'm gonna be honest with you. With those three pieces of talent, I don't even put so much emphasis on a decade. You stick them three in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, and it's done right on some hood shit, I don't give a about the decade.
I think there is something to be done there, though, like that mid 80s, early 90s.
And the funny thing is, when you say the 90s and you bring up the music and Biggie, and that's why I'm saying I don't give a about the decade, the 70s soul music.
Yeah, but who's the gangster? Who's the gangster that you're going to do from the 70s?
I'm sure there's got to be some gangsters.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, but that 90s period, that late 80s, early 90s had that whole, and it had the music. It was the beginning of the late 80s really blew that music.
Let's go back to the 70s with American Gangster. The two guys, drug kingpins at that time, Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes. Now, let's say we explore that story more about Nicky and Frank. Take out Cuba Gooding Jr. as Nicky Barnes and throw in Wesley Snipes or Sam Jackson and let that be 90% of the story. That's awesome.
Yeah, it changes.
Oh, God.
But, and listen, Sam Jackson, he deserves a non role.
A non role?
Where you could actually, where he could get into it and not just be the character. He could be into a character. He could be develop that character.
But when you say a non role, you mean he's not a badass?
No, he's a badass, but he doesn't have to say every 3 seconds, where he can really.
Okay, because when you're a badass, you're a badass.
Yeah, but he needs to.
Be it, not say it.
Yeah.
I got you.
I like that. Be it, not say it.
I don't know. That's like Twinkies without the cream.
No, it's not.
I ain't never ate a creamless Twinkie.
No, you don't. Yeah, you have. It's pound cake.
Nah, pound cake, baby. Twinkie. These is fat man delicacies. I know about this shit.
I think there's something there, though. I think it can be done. I think it's time. It's due. The time is due.
Yeah, overdue. Let me go to.
I just think that the music, like the 70s music is there, but that hip hop now has a place that is classic that can make you move and love that time period, make you feel the moments.
Right.
That's why I'm saying that period.
Now, come on, man. Just picture Wesley, the slow motion shot, New York, 1977. Wesley, Sam, Denzel just come out of a meeting. They're all departing out of the same restaurant, going to their respective Cadillacs. And as they do it with all that leather on, come on! Can you smell the Murray's hair grease coming from the screen?
Yeah, and some 20-year-olds are going to go, that doesn't mean the same thing to me as some hip hop.
The movie ain't got to be for 20-year-olds.
But that's where
everything ain't got to be.
That's
for
where the money's
everybody.
at. That's where the market's at.
The money is where you build it. You make it. I'm spending it. Them 3 cool ass in leather. What? That's the name of the movie. 3 cool ass in leather. Oh. Marvin Gaye, Al Green, maybe some Sam Cooke, even though Sam ain't really the 70s, 60s. But man, that is the epitome of cool. Deron Ross, what it do? I hit Andy ass up, but I know if don't take his medicine, he don't remember. Do you see the irony of that? How many times I done told you about throwing stones? Y'all be throwing stones into 1,000-mile-per-hour winds.
What did he hit me up for, though?
It come back, hit you right in the face.
Did he tell me what he hit me up for?
There's a documentary called Luther, Never Too Much. Check it out.
Oh, we talked about it.
Yeah, we checked it out.
Yeah, so there was...
That. Let's go back to this catastrophe. I hit Andy ass up. First of all, comma, S. Andy's. I hit Andy ass up, but I know if don't take his medicine, he don't remember. Wow.
Hey, can you do... We haven't done the Asian voice in a long time. Can you do the Asian voice?
I hit Andy ass up, but I know if he don't take his medicine, he don't remember.
Asian is...
Oh, my God.
Sorry. It's F.
Asian. Jesus, Deron. And you know what's sad about this, Deron?
It's only 3 sentences.
It's only 3 goddamn sentences. You couldn't take a minute to proofread 3 sentences. What's amazing, I'm so glad people can't just automatically go to a place of business and go, I want this job. Could you imagine with those skills, he just walked into an airline company and went, I want to be a pilot. Everybody did. Oh. And threw rocks at you and he up 3 sentences. Andy don't remember. I know he like. Oh. Sad. It's very sad. Ollie D. Gladiator problems. Hi, A&A. Just want to give my take on Gladiator 2. I found it pretty disappointing, to be honest. I didn't have an issue with Denzel's acting in this, unlike other people, but I did have an issue with the overuse of CGI in the movie and some of the characters. Firstly, if you ever watched the original movie, it didn't set it up for a sequel, so this one feels like they tried too hard to connect the dots. All of a sudden, Maximus had an affair with the main female lead, and 2, and had a child, the main character. Get the fuck out of here. Also, the first movie had actual tigers in the movie. If you watch the behind the scenes, this one had the fakest looking monkeys I've ever seen. Well, hold up. Let me stop real quick. Were they going to get real monkeys to do that?
I like that he's stuck on the monkeys. I got stuck on the sharks.
Yeah, but the sharks came after the monkeys.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't get past the sharks, man.
And another thing, yes, they did in fact flood the Colosseum, but they didn't have sharks. Maybe alligators, but that's pushing it. And then the person riding a rhino, Jesus Christ, man. The main character also felt bland and frankly stupid. Like, dude, you weren't a baby when she hid you away. You were old enough to understand that she did it to protect you. And then you have the albino twins that they never explain how they got into power, but they felt so out of place with how preposterous they were. And then he makes his monkey a second in command. I told my friend this, and he thought I was with him. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. Not because it's the original, but because the better quality movie and script. Sorry for the rant, boys.
Well, I'd love to talk to you about this, except
I haven't seen it yet.
that's going to be an episode. It's going to be a real episode.
And it's going to be called Finally I Saw It.
Yeah, man, I can't believe you haven't seen it, and you've seen this one, and you have no idea how much better the other one. It's not even how much better. It's like not even on the same level. It really isn't. If Denzel wasn't in this, there's no movie.
Oh, absolutely not. Because the other names don't even hold weight yet.
No, and I do appreciate what he said about the character. I do feel, and I did say this. They did a good job trying to connect the two movies. I know it's a stretch, and I understand what you're saying, but like you said, it wasn't set up for a sequel, and they were able to put it. There was a cohesive storyline. You did have to take a few leaps of faith, but it was there. So I did appreciate that at least they tried to get that far. But it's still the same movie, and with extra CGI. So yeah, there's a lot of problems in it. But those characters, I think, are supposed to be a little bit of about representing what the Roman Empire was and is falling apart because there was a lot of craziness in the emperors because you had the families were incestuous, and I think that's what that's what those two characters are leading up to.
Dude, only because now I'm thinking about it. Dude, I'm telling you, who I think in comedy should be a much bigger star, name, and get his flowers? Brian Callen. That joke he did that night at the Laugh Factory where he, long story short, explains what turns out to be the most awkward moment of, oh my God, I feel like I'm about to be molested by this grown man. And the punchline is, and that's how I met Kevin Spacey. That motherfucker does that joke. And this was at the height of the Kevin Spacey controversy. But the way Brian broke that whole joke down, and he did that gladiator-like character, and it was very over-sexualized, and blah, 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 blah. And, and the way Brian just turned around and was, and that's the night I met Kevin Spacey. And the room went nuts. Brian, and he does that character guy with the cape and the eagle. Brian's phenomenal, man.
Dude, when he does these stories that he makes up, the one where he's riding a horse.
Yeah.
And he's on the horse, and he is in it, man. And he's doing, dude, he is. First of all, he's highly intelligent. He has his own problems. I'm not going to deny that because people are going to write in.
We all do.
Oh, Brian has these. Yeah, Brian has his own problems.
We all do.
But the genius that he displays on stage,
God.
the depth that he goes to present this this character,
the show
is by himself is unbelievable.
Oh,
and he's not. I mean, he talking about act outs. No one does a more incredibly elaborate act out than Brian Callen.
Listen, man, I wanted to do a skit back on Mad TV, and if God willing, I ever do a sketch show again, I would love to have Brian because I had an idea based off, and Brian does that, and I do the guy that I did, the Shakespearean, and I just wanted to do a skit where it was like an ongoing. Robert Townsend kind of did it back in the day on HBO, but he had it was kind of like a soap opera, hints of Dallas Dynasty about well-to-do black folk, pompish black folk. But it was a running series. And I always wanted to do a running series with characters like that. And I had this one punchline where the king, this pompous king, was being approached by like a black dude and a Hispanic dude. And he goes, "Hence, who goes there?" have visited my servants, spicator and writers. But it would be a grand show kind of thing like that. And oh God, Brian's phenomenal, man.
I think he was at where he was going, and then that
happened.
Yeah.
Walter Tisdale, Elvis and Frank and Eminem. Hey guys, love the show as always. A pleasure. Everything I listen to you guys, I always hear something that I think I have the answer for, on something that you don't know or didn't mention. One of the reasons Elvis got a bad rap is because of a article in a magazine, I believe was called Sepia, S-E-P-I. Hey, oh my God, excuse me. He was quoted as saying, "A black man can only buy my records and shine my shoes," but it was never really verified. Also, once Chuck D said what he said about Elvis in the song Fight for the Power, which I love that line. Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant to me as either racist, a sucker, something in plain, than Flavor Flav. And John Wayne. Everyone took it to gospel. Also, Frank Sinatra did not drink scotch. He drank Jack Daniels. And real hip-hop heads know the people Eminem thanked in his Hall of Fame and gave them their flowers, and too many young people are happy to be ignorant and not learning their hip-hop history. Peace.
Yeah, the story about Elvis was they actually were able to show that he wasn't even in the city that they said.
So it's false?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? I just saved something. There was something that I just saw, and I don't know if it's true, so I don't really want to. I don't know if it's true, but it was about somebody who worked at Elvis's place that he. It was a black woman who was trying to buy a car, and the dealer didn't want to sell the car to her. And he went back in there, made them buy the car, gave her a job because she was going to school, helped her pay for the car, helped the job, and gave her a job. And she worked at Graceland and got a degree and did all the stuff that she was supposed to do.
Oh, shit.
And not that makes anybody a good person because they help one person. Maybe. You never know. He was a rock star.
You see, I'll help, baby.
But just these stories though, they were. But this is the sad part about the story that people don't understand. Those stories were put out by white politicians because they didn't like the fact that Elvis was swaying white people, and white kids into black music.
I totally can believe that.
And that's where this comes from.
You know, the long conversation that Godfrey and I had yesterday, one of the things we also talked about was, and kind of in that same vein, Frank Sinatra, back when they were the Rat Pack, Sammy Davis, the places they would go, they would say, hey, you got to go in the back. You can't do this. You can't. And Frank would say, hey, if he can't come in the front or he can't do this, you don't get me. I forget what particular movie Ocean's 11. And the studio didn't want Sammy in the movie. And Frank said, again, you don't put Sammy in this part, you don't get me. And, that's beautiful because it shows the love and respect that Frank had for Sammy. But what Godfrey pointed out also was, a lot of times during their live performances, they would make jokes about him and Dean, about Sammy, and kind of belittle him and stuff like that. And we just went, damn, what a trade-off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got a guy who respects you, if that's respect, but who looks out for you, makes sure you're treated right, but then, does that.
But, and this is what I would say, that I would say to Godfrey, too, to you, both of you, if he was here. I understand that. And when I watch it, it's very cringy.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. I've seen some of those things, and I was like, that sounds demeaning.
Right.
Again, though, that's on our lens today, looking at the past. And was it,
but disrespect is disrespect.
But
it holds no time capsule.
But if it's comical to you as a group because it doesn't have any ill will, and at that time certain words don't mean the same thing that they mean today, is it?
They've always meant that.
But between the
belief system may have changed.
But
the meanings were.
I guess that's what I'm saying. The belief
right,
of what
right.
it was. So because I don't think that Sammy. And when I watched it, and I know this sounds ridiculous. I know people listen to me and just try to figure, because you look at me crazy. So, I was a huge Sammy Davis Jr. fan because the reason I was a huge fan of his is because I knew about the car accident and how he lost his eye. And, to me, as a kid, the idea that you could have something so tragic happen to you and still become a star, that to me was like overcoming an obstacle was what made me attracted to him. I put him up on a higher level. And my dad was really the Frank and Dean guy. So it was all encompassing, but I leaned towards Sammy. But when I would watch that, it felt compromised. Like the friendship felt compromised because of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
You got that feeling, or you know that like that was said?
No, I got that feeling. So it's hard for me to look at it. So I understand what you're saying, but at that time, do you think Sammy Davis Jr. could have been friends with them if that was nothing but the show and part of what they did? That's what I'm asking, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but because it's hard to say if that was the belief system back then. Did he buy into it? Did Sammy buy into it?
Yeah, and did he feel like lessened? And that's the problem. That's the problem I have.
I didn't feel lessened, man, when I was getting my by that Swedish blonde white in room 17, she babe.
But that's my question. And listen, it's a question. I'm not trying to say it one way or the other, but that was the question I would throw at you guys.
Right.
Is what is it? Because. But no matter what, looking at it today, you would be mad because I'm not happy with it because I feel it belittled Sammy Davis.
Right. Well, he probably went to his hotel room that night and took out his glass eye, and both eyes were crying. The one on the dresser and the one in his skull.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that those moments in time is what changes the long distance, changes the time. So I just hate to think that Sammy went to bed though at night really upset. Would be like upset about it, but knowing that he's doing it for.
You listen with the the popularity, being around Frank and Dean and the women and the money and the nice hotels. He probably was okay with it. Like that's a trade-off. Like because it could have been. They demean you anyway, and you don't have any of that. But and it seems up to have to reconcile with that.
Yeah, that's the that's the part that's tough.
Right.
But do you think their conversations, their personal behind the scenes, there's something different there? Because if it's just that all the time, I don't see how you deal with it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Hey, Sammy, we love you, baby. All the monkey, jigaboo, it's Tar Kid. Don't worry about it. That's just for the stage. You understand, baby Tar Kid? Yeah.
How do you I don't know. I don't know. But that's my question. I'm not making a statement. That's a question.
Yeah. It's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. There it is.
Is that a show?
That is a show.
Listen, man, we got some dates. Let me tell you about what they are real quick. We got to do shows tonight. One show.
One.
And then
spawn divots.
Here we are. I'm really looking forward to that one.
And you said you're not a lobster guy, right?
No, but them crab legs.
Yeah, but they said one of their specialties is fried lobster.
Oh, I had that fried lobster. I had that sandwich poor boy, that fried lobster poor boy one time.
Yeah, but that's got bread. The bread is an interruption.
Look how offended you were by the bread near the lobster.
If you got fried lobster, your bread is the breading that's fried. You don't need bread on top of breading.
You had that poor boy though too, didn't you?
No. I want to say, I don't think I've ever had a fried lobster there.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm not going to lie about that at all. Right. I will try lobster. I like crab better. And that crab that they had there in that bucket with the crab, the shrimp.
Jesus.
Dude, we didn't even finish the shrimp. And that was amazing to me that we didn't even finish it.
We had a gladiator-sized bowl of seafood. Hence, bring me the shellfish. In the gladiator bowl, I want the crab, the lobster, the shrimp, the mussels, the chlamydia. Oh, that's calamari. Pardon me.
Again, not overstating it.
Bring on the feast!
Helium, Atlanta, Alpharetta. Let me just tell you guys one more time. Killed it. Thank you.
Love y'all, man. Georgia.
June 30th through February 1st, we're going to be at the Miami Improv. It's actually by Doral, next to Doral there, right there in that area. February 13th through the 15th, Wise Guys, downtown, West Salt Lake City, Utah. February 21st to the 22nd, Funny Bone in Albany, New York. 27th through March 2nd, we're going to be at the DC Improv, back to the nation's capital. March 7th through the 8th, we're going to be at Virginia Beach, Funny Bone. March 13th through the 16th, we're going to be at the Improv in Ontario, California. March 20th through the 22nd, One Night Stands in Michigan. That's over in Highland Road, Waterford Township. That's a lot of words for one town. March 28th through the 29th, we're going to be at the Cincinnati Funny Bone in Liberty. We're going to go do that Velvet Taco out there.
Liberty.
Now you sound like the commercial. That's
Liberty.
That's right across, the one where the movie theater, it's right by the movie theater.
Where is this?
Liberty, Cincinnati.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's that Velvet Taco.
Yeah,
right
I never ate there.
You didn't? It's gourmet taco.
Is it better than the taco place from here, from Triple D?
It's not the same kind of taco. That's a real taco. That's like Mexican food taco that we went to out here in Atlanta. The one out there is gourmet, American, fancy.
Gourmet. That means there's cheese upon it.
There's some cheese on some of them. Fancy tacos. That's where they could have called it fancy tacos.
I've once ate a fancy taco. It was a Mexican woman with high heels on.
I knew it was coming. April 4th through the 6th, we're going to be at the Improv in San Jose. And April 11th through the 13th, we're going to be at the Funny Bone in Cleveland, Ohio. That's the dates. Those are the places we're going to be. It's baseball season. The show.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.